Hello, welcome everyone to Techvarsity Module 4 video, and I'm sure that you guys are pretty fine. We may quickly just have to recap what we did last time. We were talking about links, we have treated links targets to external website. We have also treated linking internal web pages, and when we did that, we had something like this. We created two web files, index HTML and of course the about us.html. And we also did have something like this. We had a web page that links from one to another from the internal repository. So if I click on this go to my about page, it does go there, and from the about page you can also link back. And you may know that from the about page we have our button working for the first time. That's pretty interesting, isn't it? Okay, so when you click on this button here, we go back to our home page. This is so awesome. But today we're doing something quite fantastic. We're doing something awesome. We're going to be linking within the same web file, the same web page, better still. Okay, so example I'm talking about is, assuming we are having a page like this, we're going to be linking within the page itself and not outside the page or within the internal web files in the repository folder. So this is interesting. You will get it pretty clear once I start. Assuming I'm supposed to create, let me create a new page from my text editor. Let me create a new page called FAQ.html. FAQ means frequently asked questions. Assuming you want to build a web file, a web app, or website, or a mobile app that people would have to ask questions, frequently asked questions about your service or your product. So using this type of linking within the same web page would be very, very useful for your audience or visitors or app users to navigate through different segments on your web app. Okay, I may need some of those things. Instead of retyping again, let me just copy this guy here, Control C. Okay, fine. Then I go to my file, open a new file, just like we've been doing. You're quite familiar with this, aren't you? So we're going to paste this here. Okay, I've pasted this here. This is the Virgin text editor page. So may I see untitled here, meaning that we have not saved it. So we're going to try to save it, save as. We are going to save it inside our repository folder. You're quite familiar with this. So we are still inside our first app folder. So I'm going to save this as FAQ.html. HTML, you can see here is very important. You save, you can give another name anyway, but I'm using FAQ. So once I save it, okay, so I have it saved now. You can see my text editor has changed to this HTML interface. Okay, so I can actually go back to my, what's it called, my file. Okay, you can see we now have FAQ.html that I can preview what is there. Okay, let me preview what is there. Okay. Okay, we have this in there. Okay, let me edit it. It's not about us page now. We are going to make this FAQ. Okay, then we're going to take away all of these guys here. We take away all of them. Okay, then what do we need again? Okay, let us preview this. Let me just save. Let's preview them. When I start what I'm about to start, you get my explanation pretty clearly. Okay, file reload now. Okay, you can see, okay, FAQ. Now, what I want to do is this. I would like to put in something here. Okay, let me bring in an H5 tag and put it question one. Question one. Now, I want to be able to link to different text components on this web page. And for me to link different text components, I need to introduce a new tag called div tag, D-I-V-E. The div tag is very important. So let me just save this so that we can see what we're talking about. I'm going to save this first and let you guys preview it. Okay. Now you can see question. Where is it? Okay. I didn't put something. Okay, question one. Question one. Okay, fine. So I have saved it. Then let me come here, let me reload it. Okay, now question one. Now I want to be able to put this guy here from the question one to whatever he's there. I'm assuming whatever is there is the question one into a div so that I'll be able to make reference to it distinctively. You get what I'm saying? Forget the English. So I have to put this into a div. For me to do that, I'll introduce something called a div, dive. Okay, now you can see the space here. Within this space, I'll put in my content, Control X, then put a Control V. Now, so I put it into a div. Now, I'm going to tell the computer to identify this div with some certain type of identification. Let me break it down to layman and language. You see, when you talk about looking within the same HTML, okay, it's like just like maybe let's say the whole of the human body is HTML, deal of the human body. So if I tell any of you that show me your head, the head is very distinctive. You can identify head. So this is the head area, okay? So this is an ID. So when you tell the computer controlling human, for example, that show me your head, everybody knows this is the head. So the name that is making head distinctive is an ID, okay? This place also it has an ID. It is called the palm. Okay, this is called the knee. Okay, if I say show me your chest, okay, this is called chest. You understand? So within an HTML, you should be able to give some certain segment or certain component a distinctive name. So if you want to refer to it, you can tell the computer, I want you to get me this particular thing. So computer can understand. So I want to be able to tell the computer that the first question should be distinctive. After putting it inside a div, I'll give it an ID. Okay, the ID is let me just put one. Okay, meaning the first question. Okay, so well, let me just put one. Okay, fine. So if I have another one, I can copy this guy here, Control C, then Control V. Now if I make this one question two, then I make this one two. So I'm telling the computer that the distinctiveness of these from this is they're having a name now. So this the idea of this one here of this div is 2. The idea of this div is 1. I press Ctrl S. Now, just like this now, the head is an ID. The leg is an ID. You understand? So we are now trying to make our elements like that, our HTML page like that. Okay, press Ctrl S. Let me come here and preview what we're talking about. Okay, now we now have two questions. Okay, now we haven't done any linking yet, but internally, computer understands that this question one has a unique name, which is the ID, which is ID ONE1, and this other one has a unique name, ID TWUO2. Then, if I copy this again, let's say we have about 5 stuff here. Okay, so if I make this one 3. THR, okay. Then I made this one question 3. Then I have another one here. I'm pasting it, copy and paste. It's pretty simple. You can do it. Okay. So FOUR. Okay. This is question 4. Okay. Then let's say we have the last question here. So let's say there are 5 popular questions that people ask. Then let me put Control V. Okay. So 5, 5. FIV5, then this is 5. Okay, fine. So if I press Ctrl S, I've done that already. Then I come here, I reload it. Okay, now we now have 5 questions. Let's say this is our web application. So let us now bring in our linking code. Okay, I want the link to be at the top here. At the top here. Okay, after the FAQ at the top here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring, let's say, H5. Okay, so then let me give a space so that, okay, H5. Then H5 I can actually say this place is 1. You're familiar with that. So Control C, it means 1 will appear there. Then okay, this one will be 2. Then this one will be 3, 4, 5. Now, okay, I press Ctrl S, then I come here to save it. Okay, now you can see all of these guys here, but you know what I want to achieve is I want to be able to click something that if I click on 1, it should go to question 1. If I click on 4, it should go to our question 4. If I click on 2, 3, they should go to that distinctive IDs, you know. So but you may know something here that this is not pretty well structured. I don't like the way they are written below each other. It's not making my site look beautiful. So I'm just going to write a little CSS. You're learning CSS gradually. A little CSS to make it cute. I'm going to put all of these guys in a div. Okay, first. So I'm going to write my div. Okay, then oops. I'm going to write my div. Then I'll put in between the div. I'm going to cut all of these guys and pull them into the div. Okay, now it won't do anything though. It won't do anything. If I click on normal save, it won't do anything. It will still remain like that. But until I tell the computer to, until I write a CSS code for it to do something, so it won't do anything. You may see that. Now, for me to make it do something inside the div, I can just write a CSS code to make it be inline. You know, these are digits to be inline. So style equals to quotation. Then I have I write the code display. I want them to display in flex. So flex will make them to be inline. Okay. So when I press Ctrl S, I come back here. Okay. Fine, you can see they're actually inline, but there's something more. I need to create the space between each of these numbers, okay, so that I'll be able to click them very well. Okay, so inside this H5 tag, I'm going to write another style. Let me just copy the style code and paste it here, Ctrl V. Okay, but this time I'm not writing display. I want to write padding. Okay, so padding, let's say 15 pixels. 15 pixels. Okay, I'm telling the computer that once 1 is written, then it should give it a padding of 16 pixels, meaning the space. Okay, I'm doing it for all of these guys. I'm just pasting it instead of repeating the whole code. Now this is CSS anyway. You're learning CSS gradually. Okay, now again, this flex choose is telling the computer to make all of these guys inline, which you have seen, but they are together. We have to put a padding in there, you know. So I'm clicking, I'm saving it. You can press Ctrl S, come to your file to save manually. So when I reload it, okay, when I reload it, okay, you can see now we now have the space between them. Now the task is I want to be able to click on 1, I go to question 1. I want to be able to click on 2, I go to question 2. Okay, so in here, that's what I'm going to do the coding. I can just take off this one. I'll rewrite it, don't worry. So you know the link code A space href. Then okay, then we close it. Then in between here we can now put 1. Okay, so let me do that and copy this, put it here so that we don't have to be writing the code. This is interesting. Just follow it scrupulously. Okay, so okay. Okay, now I can now begin to edit. Okay, this one should be 2. This one should be 3. This one should be 4. This one should be 5. Again, don't get confused. You're quite familiar with writing a link tag, the A tag for linking. So whatever is between the A is what will be shown. We're familiar. The whatever is here is where the digits here, whatever you have put it, when you click it, where it will go to. So we want the 1 to go to this first ID. So we're going to call it with an hash 1. Fine. We want when they click the 2, you know, whatever they click here, it will load whatever link we have put here. So we want to go to hash 2. So you have to, if we want to call it up, you have to push the hash. So this one should be hash 3. We have to make sure that the spelling we have here is the same with what we have pre-configured on the ID, hash 4, then hash 5. Okay, hash 5. Okay, this is pretty simple. First of all, we wrote our H5, then we put them into a simple CSS display flex for them to be inline. Then inside the H5, we now wrote a link. Okay, so we have to be sure that All those spellings there, they are well spelled here. Okay, now when I go to my file and click save, you will see that all these numbers will now have a link in there because we are actually written a link code on them. So if I reload it, fine, you can see we now have 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I click on 5, you can see it starts taking me to where I will see question 5. Okay, so if I scroll up manually, if I click on 2, it's taking me to, you can see question 2 here. You can see question 2 here. Okay, if I click on 1, it's telling me you can see question 1 here. Then if I click on, let's say, 4, you can see I can see question 4. So if you have 100 questions, instead of your users to be scrolling, scrolling, you can just have these links here. So if I click on question 5 again to take me to where I will see it, you can see question 5. But you know something that is quite amazing here. Here we have to, we can take away this button. We can take it with this book. We can just leave it, no problem. Okay, here, we have to scroll up manually. So let us write a code whereby when we get here, we'll just click on a button, then it will take us up instead of having to scroll up manually. Okay, so let me come back here. I come back to the last item. Okay, here. Let me first of all put a button there. Yeah, button. Okay, let me say go up, go back to the top. Go back to the top. Okay, now this button won't do anything, and if I just save it and come back, it won't do anything yet. Let me enlarge it. Okay, so if I save it and come back, I reload it. Okay, we have a go back to the top here. Okay, we have a go back to the top, but it won't do anything. Okay, so what we want to be able to do is when we go back here, it should go back to the top. Then you can begin to wonder how we can actually do this. It's pretty simple. So let's the top part of this, we have to give it an ID. Where is it? Okay, FAQ. Okay, so let us put this FAQ into a div. Oops. These are H1 tag rather. We have to put into a div. Let's see, div. What's going on? Div. Okay, now I pick this guy. Control X. I put it in here. Okay. Okay, you familiar with this? Then now I have to give this an ID, just like when you say, "Show me your head." Even if you are bending, you know where your head is. So we have to give an ID so that you tell the computer this is the top. Okay. So let's give an ID called any name. It could be top, any name you want. So what matters is linking a variable. So they have to come down here and write a link code for that. Okay. Let me write link code. That is href. Okay, now, so it's asking me whatever I put within here is what will be shown. Okay, let me just copy this guy. Control S, put it in here. Okay, this will be shown there. Then whatever I put there is where the link will be taken to as top. So it knows that when I click on this thing, I'm telling the computer, go and identify where there is top and take me there. Okay, so I'm going to click File. I'm going to click Save. Okay, now, so when I reload this, okay, reload this. Okay, now, so we now have, oops, sorry, what's going on? It's supposed to be, I have to be able to save it. Save. Okay, I think it's actually fine saved. It's saved. Okay, reload. Okay, so now when I click on 4, it knows. When I click on 5, it does know. So from 5, I can just click on this guy. It has come up. You can see it has come up. It has come to the top. So you can actually write another one here called below. So you just have to find somewhere below that you're going to give a tag, but we don't need below since we have the last thing showing already in the below part. Okay, this is the 5. So if you want to go back to the top, this is the top. If you want to go back to 4, it's showing us. So if you want to go back to the top, if you want to go back, if you want to check 3, it's showing. You can see it's just showing 3 here. So it's instead of us scrolling up and down, it is actually showing us, taking us there, okay? So because computer knows that when you click on these two, it knows that this two is linking to a distinctive segment on your page, which you have pre-configured with an ID, and we have been able to do that. And I find this pretty interesting, and I hope that you guys will find it pretty interesting as well. It's very, 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 very cool. I must tell you, very, very cool. And the code is pretty simple. You will like it so much. So let us see. You guys should just try it out, and let's see how it goes.